Okay. Welcome everyone to the third Thursday Co-Creators Convergence Zoom call. I am Noelle Marshall, and I'm here with my beloved.
Hi everyone, I'm Bob Warner.
And together we call ourselves Light Partners. And we're very excited to have you all here. I know we have an amazing guest tonight. And what I'm going to do first before we start is give you the date. This is January 16th, 2020. And we're excited to have Angie LaRue with us tonight with Kathy Mason. And before we start in on that, I just want to have Bob tell, we have a lot of new people on the call here. I want to tell you the 4 different ways that you connect with the Co-Creators Convergence. We're such a fun group.
Thank you. The Co-Creators Convergence. We are a community of heart-resonant, uniquely gifted souls dedicated to embodying and amplifying our collective consciousness, thereby co-creating a world that works for everyone. And we do this with great love, compassion, joy, fun, and honoring all realms of creation to accelerate the awakening of humanity. There's 4 ways for those of you that are not familiar with our community that you can be a part of this. One is we have a very active Facebook page at Co-Creators Convergence on Facebook. We have a website which has information about our gatherings over the years. We are coming up on our 8th annual gathering this coming June. And the third way we can connect is this third Thursday call of every month. And you all are certainly welcome to be a part of this, whether you're part of Facebook page or not. You're welcome to come here and invite your friends to be here. On our website, we have all the archives of all the calls for the last 6, count them, 6 years worth of monthly calls. Actually, the first couple of years, it was twice a month. And the 4th way to be a part of this community is to join us in Circle at Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado, north of Denver, where we gather in Circle every summer. This will be our 8th annual gathering. Right, Noelle?
That's right. And for those of you who haven't come to our annual gathering, it's very co-creative. Our theme this year is about the gifts of the third eye. And what we do is anybody who attends is welcome to bring a process. I don't really like to call it a process, but an experience, because it's very experiential. We don't believe in having the room teacher. And so we have many teachers because we recognize the gifts in every one of us. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but once you register, and I want to bring that up, is the registration fee right now is $200. And will be going up to $250 on February 14th. To learn more about it, you can go to our website. I will put it in the chat. It's www.cocreatorsconvergence.com. And I see that Angie's been there, Kathy, many years, Rob and David and Lisa, Raina Shea. So, and Kate Roberts, of course, is already registered. So we keep it, the group under the size of, say, 45 people is the max, and we do everything in Circle. It's a beautiful, at sunriseranch.org, that's where we hold it, we're about 22 miles from the Rocky Mountain National Park, so it's a beautiful part of the country. So with that little advertisement, I think that's why.
That's all you wanted to say about it?
Well, I think it's,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it because it's jam-packed, cramped, and stacked with amazing people and experiences. You are more than welcome to join us. Kathy, would you agree? June 3rd?
Yes, well, and I think Kate was just showing her organ generator that she got from Angie at CCC. Look at
there, wow. Wow.
Okay, so we can do that.
I have one of the holy hand grenades next to my bed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a weapon. But anyway. Thanks, Kate.
So I'm going to put a few things in the chat for people who want to connect with us. But right now, I'm going to turn it over to my very best friend, my BFF, Kathy Mason, who brings us so many amazing guests.
Just for a second.
Say something. Go ahead, David.
I just want to say the theme this year, as Noelle sort of hinted at, is co-creating new visions, and it's opening portals of possibilities. So
Thank you, David. I
Yeah.
did.
Well,
And David is one of the weavers. There's about 6 of us who are on the co-creative team to weave together everything that you as participants bring into our circle. So thank you, David.
yes. And I do highly recommend the Co-Creators Convergence to everyone. If you want to get in community and find your soul family, it's a quite amazing experience to not feel alone, and really get to meet other people with divine skills. I guess is the nice
Yes,
way.
Kathy, you've been there all 7 years, or 7 of the 8 years.
7 of the 8, yeah. So
Wonderful.
anyway, I wanted to explain how I met Angie. I got to meet Angie LaRue from the people that gave her this Antonian Stone. They actually met her before I did and drugged me. They came over to my office and actually brought me over to meet Angie and experience the crystal bed. So for those of you that don't know about Angie, she's a Reverend. She's a Certified Master Crystologist. She's an energy practitioner, teacher, Reiki Master. And when she says teacher, she really is a mystery school teacher. So it's not just regular frequency information. This new skill is Angie was told I guess last year, that she was going to amp up her healing capacities, which are quite remarkable before she got this stone. She healed several of my friends. Some of them it was bones, it was hip work, but quite amazing. And then of course she has the skills and the intelligence to put these contraptions together that are Tesla and Wilhelm Reich inspired. So this is somebody who's not just working from the divine. There's quite a bit of intelligence mixed in the dance with the divine and what Angie does. Plus the crystalline bed that's behind her, if you want to do the Vanna White thing.
Do you want me to open it?
Yeah, go ahead. I got the pictures of her. But anyway, the bed, you can actually go in Boulder and lie on the bed for a half an hour and feel totally different from the experience. So, and this has all been brought through with her connection to source. She actually awakened in 2011. Look at the inside of this. Da-da-da. And that's all crystals and salt. And she can explain it better than I can, but you can see the runs of energy. And quite a few, I know Yvonne's been on it because I was with you not too long ago. And I know Noelle's been on it, Rob's been on it. It's quite amazing the frequency that comes off the bed. And then with Angie using that as the field of possibility, then she can upgrade it. But so we were together when Angie got this gift of the Antonian Stone. So do you want to tell a little bit about that, and then I'll come back and add if you want. But
yeah, I think the backstory of how it came is kind of fun. I was being led into healing, but I didn't know yet that I was a psychic surgeon. And a doctor, an MD, and a medical intern specialist came to me when I first started as a crystologist and just was trying me out, wanted to have a crystal array. And while we were in the session, I suddenly saw inside of the back of her cranium. I was looking at her brain and her brain stem. And it was like a statue in Europe. It was covered with like bird poop and pollution and oxidation. And all of a sudden, like hands started coming out of the mist and handing me scalpels and little dental tools and like a little dentist sucky thing. And I knew that I was supposed to start cleaning it. I was supposed to start cleaning all of that off of there. And way in the back of my mind with this little voice that was like going, it's a doctor, this is malpractice. And I kept telling that little voice, shh. And so when I got done, then like little dental tools were handed to me to get in between the crevices of the brain and really get that out. And so when I came out of state later, I have this woman who I've just performed brain surgery on. And I'm in shock. And I don't know what to say to her. And I don't know how to say it. And I'm just asking Spirit, please be with me. What do I do? And I told her, you know, she asked me if anything happened because she kind of checked out for a while. And I was like, well, I was led by someone who I believe is your higher self to do some work on your brain. There was a lot of corrosion on the entire back of it and the spinal cord. Is there any reason that would have happened? And she said, yes, dengue fever, cholera, meningitis, encephalitis, Shigella dysentery, and she listed off a series of the worst tropical diseases in the world. And I was just like, how did you get exposed to that? And she said, I grew up in Suriname. Suriname is South America next to Guyana and French Guiana, which is how you would get all those diseases. So she was very grateful. And that was when I learned I was a psychic surgeon. So that just kind of progressed. And then the gentleman that Kathy mentioned came to me and he said, I have alien implants. Can you remove them? Do you do surgeries on him?
Right.
And at the time, I didn't really believe in that, actually. But as I've learned on this path, a belief is not the same thing as knowing. And I decided to just look, use this vision I have to be able to look into the human body and look. And I found two of them. And so I set up a surgery. I removed them, and during the surgery at the end, I found a third one, and it was in his uvula, that little dangle thing at the back of your throat, and it went way down his throat, out of sight.
Yeah.
And so I started telling him about it and suggesting, I think you should schedule another session. I would like to do something with that. And all of a sudden, a voice came through and said, hello, I'm Osan, and we're going to give you some information. After you review the information, then decide what you'd like to do. And he went. And all of a sudden, I had a complete vision of that. It was the Palladians that put that in, that it was a soul agreement, that they used him as a translator, a voice into this dimension, and that he was the channel. And I was like, oh, well, I have no business getting in the middle of this. This is a soul agreement. And there was a couple other psychic surgeries I did on this gentleman. So then jumping forward maybe a year, Kathy?
Yes. Yeah.
I will let Kathy pick up the story from here because I need
Well, I think we were at my office. There was a group of us, there were 8 or 10 of us at my office, and I was sitting right next to this gentleman that channels this group of Palladians, who I think I've known him like 3 or 4 years. And they were like rascal kind of Palladians, where you'd ask, how come we don't all know about what you're doing? And they'd say, because we're not supposed to give it to you yet. And it was like, okay, now I really want it, you know, because we're not supposed to have it yet. So anyway, at that meeting, he kind of went at Angie right past me and said, I'm giving you this healing stone. And I saw it like an egg. In fact, I kept calling it, when I would talk to Angie about it, I kept calling it an egg. Yep. I kept seeing an egg. And I said, what did he just give you? I saw him give you an egg. And she said, and then we had to figure out what I think at that time he did say it was an Antonian stone, but I didn't quite catch that because I was so aware of the physical, if there was a physical nature to it in my vision of it. So anyway, but since she's gotten this, her healing capacities have been remarkable. And he told her she had to do so many healings on one-on-ones and so many healings on groups. And so thus we're doing another group tonight, so that Angie can give more experience and anchor. I think it's anchoring this tool with you, right?
Yeah, they gave me a 12th dimensional alien device and didn't tell me how to use it.
Yeah, they didn't think you needed the instruction.
Because life isn't mysterious enough, right?
But it's quite remarkable.
I had a hard time taking it in that I had been given this. And I remember in hygiene, there was a psychic, and we decided to exchange readings. And she started giving me a very traditional reading. I was like, you know what, sister, I'm a psychic too. Let's not do this. Let's get to the good stuff. I was like, what's in my hand? And she goes, oh, that is a communication device. It helps heal people. It works on the blueprint level. And she just started rattling off all this information, described what it looks like, and said it sends up a holograph. And I was just like, you're amazing. And that was also hugely validating for me that another psychic could see it and discern all the information I knew about it. And she even gave me a little, I wish I had recorded what she said, because she even gave me some information about it I hadn't known yet.
Oh, that's great. So, and you, how long ago was that?
It seems like it was last summer, wasn't it?
I'd have to look at the calendar when we were here, because we were here a couple times. I just would have to see when we did that.
Oh, I have it in my notes.
Oh.
It was July 9th, 2019. So July 9th is when I was given the.
Oh, okay, because July 4th, we did that other thing up at them in the mountains. Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, because Rob was there too. Okay, so what the experience is with this stone amplifies what Angie can do for people. She could do remote work before, but this creates a way to anchor the healing and make the transmission, the hologram, change faster, correct?
Yeah, my understanding of what's happening is I'm taking your blueprint and then I can see that. And it depends. I might be going into a specific area. I might be looking at the whole system or the whole auric field, or zooming into a very specific place on the body. I can then make changes on that blueprint. I give them back and they begin to apply on the physical. So for some things we see results immediately, and other things it seems to be a little bit as it kind of comes in, like the vitamins and the minerals and the building blocks have to be found on the physical level to then apply on the physical level. But some of it is quite instant. So
with chronic pain or chronic problems, is there a difference in the time that it takes to heal versus physical, like bones?
You know, if there's a healer on this planet who can explain to me how all this works, I would be really impressed, because we don't know. You know, I've seen people be instantly cured in seconds of things they were sent home to die from, right? 6 weeks left on the planet, and they were instantly cured, completely untraceable. Their doctors have jumped on planes and came to meet me. Other people got it seemed to be kind of a small thing in a way, and we couldn't get it to go away. You know, we could mitigate the pain or the discomfort, but it wouldn't leave. I believe I only play a small part in healing. I believe everyone is their own healers, and they come here to learn different things.
Right.
And sometimes our wound is our greatest healer. It is the thing that evolves us faster than anything else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't pretend for a moment to understand how this works.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was trying to give everyone who hasn't experienced it a little idea of how it works. That's why I was asking the question. So for instance, if David Powell wanted to work with you, he would set up a session. Well, we'll be doing some here, but he'd set up a session with you, and it's an hour-long session, or could you give us a little input
At
on?
least. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mini blueprints, because a lot of times it's like peeling an onion. So maybe I can't see the physical problem until I get a lot of trauma cleared out of the auric field. So I get that clear, all that fog, right? And then maybe I need to balance it. Maybe the hemispheres of the field are out of order, or, you know, up and down or whatever. So then I got to fix all that, right? And now I can begin to see the body. But, you know, but maybe I'm looking at the skin because some inner problem is manifesting on the skin.
Right.
So now I'm healing the skin, and then I can see through the skin into the muscles, you know, and I keep going deeper, deeper, deeper. And then sometimes I come back out again. And I did a gentleman yesterday. Oh, Tim. Tim, can I tell your story? Okay. So I did all this work, and then I come back out, and I discovered like a big sword or a big spear coming into his back.
Oh,
And it turns out that was from a past life, which he actually knew the story of. So then there's that layer when we start going into the past lives, because we've all lived many times, and we died every single time. And some of those were dramatic. And my understanding is that when we come into body, we come into a new body, and that body has a new astral field. But the rest of us, all the other layers, that's eternal information. That's us eternally. And we carry it from life to life. So it has the memory of everything that's happened to it. So sometimes something that's happening to us, a chronic problem, let's say a kidney, and we just can't seem to get that kidney healed. Well, it's actually when you took a arrow in your kidney back in 1329, and that information's out here in the field, and it keeps feeding into the kidney.
oh,
Right? And so sometimes we've got to go way out into past lives to remove information so it quits aggravating the current. And this is complicated because all time and space is now.
right, right. But the result of whatever that annoyance, if you want to call it that, is still being felt now. So it's got to be relieved now, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
So it seems to me that there's a trend. If we have a situation that's over and ended, and whatever lesson it was bringing is done and we've learned it, those same things seem to be very easy to heal.
Okay.
Okay. But if I'm just going to make something up. Let's say we're a chronic drinker and we're killing our liver, and you're coming to me to have your liver healed. If you haven't quit drinking and solved the psychological problems that were leading you to drinking in the first place, I'm probably not going to be able to do much for the liver, right? So there does seem to be a connection there, but yeah, things that have already been solved and taken care of are pretty easy to clean out. But things that are still ongoing, that the thinking processes that cause them and the emotions that cause them, if they're still live at play, you know.
So with the Antonian Stone, how is that up to your capacity to heal? Because I've watched it from a spectator's side, but I don't know from your actual experience.
from my experience, it's a lot easier than being a psychic surgeon. A psychic surgeon is effortful, actually. There's a lot of work involved in going in because the surgery itself looks a lot like Western, except it's non-invasive. But like if you have a leaky aorta or a leaky artery, let's just say an artery, I have to psychologically build like aquarium tubing and go and insert it in the artery, and then I've got to take like, duct tape and wrap the artery, right? And that's a lot of mental constructs to hold, right? And then I've got to watch the artery and make sure that that doesn't cause a leak somewhere else, and if it does, I've got to patch that, or I've got to look at the entire integrity of the entire artery or even artery system.
Right.
And there's this kind of it's much more manual, where this is, working from this holograph. I don't know.
Can you see easier with the holograph too? No, it's the same. But that's why he gave it to you, is because you could use it.
Yeah.
He selected you out of, because there were other healers in the room, you guys, that he could have given it to at that meeting. So yeah, no, it was cool, really cool. So Angie, since one of your things is to do a group, do you want to do a group experience and then take some one-on-ones? Or how would you? Okay, so just so you know, you guys, if you do want to have, I don't know how many we'll get to do, but if you could put your name in the chat, if you're interested in having Angie work a one-on-one, and we'll see how many people we can fit into the time allotted. So just so you know, so we're trying to be organized with it. Okay.
And I was wondering if we had any questions from the audience before I drop in and begin.
Okay, let's see.
Afterwards, I might not make a lot of sense.
If you do have a question, raise your hand or put it in the chat. Or Kathy, is that how you want to manage it, or how do you want to manage it, Kathy? I should say that.
I think the chat's easiest, and because we want to be efficient with our time. If you all understand, it was more to try to get everyone to have an experience, and then as many one-on-ones as we can fit into time allotted. So really appreciate the way we're doing this. Might be a little clumsy, but hopefully you'll be grateful by the end of it. So, okay, so we do have quite a few people signing up to do one-on-ones. And hi, Trina. I'm glad you're here. Thanks, dear. So, okay, so Lisa Tully, you haven't written your name in here.
So no questions then?
No.
Okay. All right, so let me try to explain this, and then if you do have questions.
Oh, okay, so Patty does have, she says, question regarding the use of the stone, and but that's not a real complete question.
Yeah.
So,
I unmuted myself. It's a lot easier for me to speak, if that's okay?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, Noelle and Bob, by the way. This is Patty Hindia from Dom and Her. My question is, so I understand everything that you're saying regarding the healing and the healing process and the blueprint. So did it change? So now you are operating with the stone off the hologram exclusively?
Yes. And
Okay.
I think since you understand healing, I'll take this a step further and give a little bit more information. Traditionally when we're a healer, we channel energy through us, right?
Right.
So that healing and the blueprints that come with it are as good as the healer is that's channeling it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think what the Antonian Stone does is it takes my energy completely out of the picture.
Wow.
Right? Like, it's not a transfer of energy anymore. It's a transfer of information. It's raw data is what it is, right?
Wow, that's very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and, you know, part of, well, I'll just leave it at that. And I think there was a few other questions.
Okay, so David Powell asked, how much does it depend on the belief of the person being healed?
I actually think that's important. The data, so to speak, shows that that's important. You know, this is, from everything that we can figure out, Earth is a free will zone, right? That means we get to choose our experience, especially with healing. So we can say no, or some part of us can say no, right? And I have even had, in rare occasions, people's higher selves come in and tell me, no, do not heal this.
Wow.
And I've had to not do it. Now that's rare. Usually the person just won't integrate the healing, won't take it in. But I have actually been told no before. So that does seem to be important. It's a free will zone. And, you know, the difference between, you know, what I do and some of the darker skill sets is as simple as taking away somebody's free will.
Right.
And I work in the light, and I'm not permitted to take away free will.
Right. Right.
Or I choose not to, out of love, because that's not love.
Is that good, David?
Sometimes I think consciously I believe it, but subconsciously I don't, if you know what I mean.
Sure. And our subconscious records all the conscious beliefs we've had at some time. And so to get rid of that old file, you might have to do some work, right? Because at some point you didn't believe in it. And it could have just been something somebody scoffed at, and it only took one time for somebody to scoff at it, but that program got developed in your subconscious, and now it fights against whatever your conscious mind wants to believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
So, Kavan, did you want to ask a question too? Thank you, David.
Yeah, I just want to share an experience with what we did in our lab. Angie, can I just go?
Oh yes, that's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have done some. So I work at the University of Colorado Boulder. So I do some experiments related to consciousness and human intentions and related things. So I had once Angie come to my lab, and the way my experiment works is that, you know, I have a small USB kind of a device which basically produces random numbers, right? And you basically make the device and you set an intention to either make the random numbers go up or, you know, go down in the form of like a graph, right? So we initially had you know, the intention. Angie probably set her intention to make it go up or down. But then eventually there was a second session, I called it the control session, where Angie could do whatever she wanted to do to influence it. So she actually opened the Antonian Stone, right? And then interestingly enough, like she finished the experiment, but then, you know, when I matched her recordings with, like I matched her intentions with what she did with the random number generator, I found that, you know, when she actually opened her Antonian device and, you know, she got the blueprint from whatever the device may be. And then she kind of, so it was in the 8th or the 9th trial of the experiment, I could see that the instead of the graph going up or down, it was completely like in the neutral state. So that was the first time where I could actually physically find some evidence to what she was trying to do with the Antonian Stone. So it was more like, you know, the device, if you compare that, you know, the up and down intention going to, you know, if you relate that to like an anomaly, the stone kind of neutralized the anomaly kind of a thing. So yeah, so that was something really interesting. You know, we haven't done repeated, you know, experiments on it, but then, you know, we're planning on doing on that, but it's something interesting I just want to share on this. Yeah.
Thank you.
I had managed to significantly alter the numbers that were being produced by the random number generator. And then when I pulled out the Antonian Stone, I healed it. And it crashed all my.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Timothy, I think, had his hand up. Timothy, can you unmute? There you go. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask if Angie actually gets, besides visualizing, does she get actual a feeling in her any part of her body and feels the pain or the problem?
I do, and I try really hard to not get that. There's a resonance, and if there's other healers here in the room, they'll know about this, that if you have a weakness inside of yourself and you're working on a client that has a similar one, it sets up a resonance. So like visualize like one bell being struck, but the next bell next to it starts ringing too. And this will crash healers. It's not a good thing. So I try to not to do that, Tim. I try to not feel other people's stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question.
It does happen, but I try to not.
Okay. Well, we have mostly the other things that are in the chat are people wanting one-on-ones. So I'm wondering if, Ange, if it would be a good idea to do the group one first and then some one-on-ones. Is that okay?
Let's get let's get started. Kathy, can you explain the protocol that they're going to be, how they hold their hands up to the screen and then they're going to say 211 and then a personal number like their telephone, a 4-digit personal number?
For all of us together?
Yeah, that's just how, and that way I can take multiple blueprints at once.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then when it's time to give the blueprint back, you can get yours. So if you
okay, so everyone, if you can put your hand up towards your camera. So Bob and Noel, you're sharing, so we want to put both up because she's actually reading your DNA information. Oops, Debbie, we just lost you. There we go. Thank you, Debbie. So Susan, we can't, if you guys can't, Maria, thank you. Patty, Susan, Rena, Shay, Lisa, if we can put your camera on, otherwise she will not be able to get your frequency. Rita, if we could get your palm up, please. Thank you guys, thank you. Okay, Lisa Tully needs your palm, oh well. And I think, okay, so, and we say, did you say 211?
Yeah, it's like a codem. Everybody's going to say 211 and then a personal number. Okay. 4-digit, it could be whatever, your last 4 digits of your telephone number.
You need to hear it. Should we unmute everyone?
I don't know that that's important. One moment, let me ask.
So if so, Bob.
Not necessary. Not necessary.
Okay. Okay, so everyone say 211 and then your next number, please. Trina, put your palm up. You got to be able to read your frequency off of your
211-1677.
211-10.
Kathy, is my hand centered?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we supposed to say this all together or one at a time?
No, it's just a frequency thing. So it's more about, it's almost like giving her permission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've gotten some of the blueprints, but I don't have everyone's.
Okay. 211.
Lisa Tully, can you show?
My camera's not working.
Okay, oh well. Okay, so Kate isn't in the picture.
All right, you can set your hands down. When I'm ready to return the blueprint, you'll put your hands back up to the camera. You'll say 211 and your personal number again, and that will pull your specific blueprint out and give it back to you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm doing everybody as a group. And I'm definitely noticing around some folks' heads, we've got a little bit of a dense energy. So, you know, this usually happens when we're worried or a little bit stressed about something, when our brain starts doing that hamster on a wheel kind of thing, right? All right, I'm picking up a little bit of heartbreak or darkness around the heart. This could be any number of things, but this is something that's showing up for a few people. So I'm looking at just all these overlays. All right, I'm showing something around the solar plexus region. This could be anything from, you know, kind of fear to stomach indigestion. But it's that region. We've got a few people experiencing that. And we've got maybe some knee problems. All right, so everybody hold your hands up to the camera, say 211 and then your personal number, and you should feel as the blueprint is pulled out of the Antonian Stone back to you. You may even feel the energy coming down your arm and then pouring into your body, or you may not feel it, and that's okay too. And Kathy, am I centered on the camera?
Come down just a little bit. There you go. 211 422.
All right, so just feel into that for a moment. Notice what you notice, what maybe has shifted or changed. And if a couple people would be comfortable speaking to what they notice, that might be nice. And if not, no worries.
Well, I can tell you that I'm hearing it. I'm hearing the frequency change, and I didn't need to do this. I could, it's quite, I could hear it while you were doing it, the frequency of it.
That's fascinating, Kathy.
Yeah.
Yes, I can feel it also. I can feel it in through my fingers and down into my feet. It's going through my whole body, around my whole aura.
Oh, wonderful.
Anybody else?
I could feel a warmth and tingling in my palm that went up my arm, and now I feel a lot lighter.
Good.
So I had.
Thank you.
So I had pain in the tooth, and the pain is still there, but it's much more dispersed, or as if it's kind of getting lighter, as if it's flying. It's still there, but there's a difference in quality.
All right. Well, if everybody would like to hold their hands up and repeat the 211 and the number, I will take another set of blueprints. We'll clean a little deeper now.
2113412.
2110550. 2110550. 2110550. 2110550.
That's nice. It looks like some folks' third eye is becoming active. That's nice. All right. I'm seeing a few folks who have some uncomfortability around the liver, spleen, kidney area, and then also the hip area. So I'm just working on this whole section for all those folks who could use a little support there. All right, and go ahead and same process, 211, your personal number. Kathy, is my hand on the camera?
No, do a little bit to my left. Yeah, perfect. Perfect now.
All right. So go ahead and take your blueprints back.
11 422 211
All right, same thing, just feel into those. Notice what's changed, what feels different. And feel free if you'd like to share that to do so.
This is Noelle, and I'm just going to say I just feel a lot of energy in the bottom of my feet. So don't understand that. And I just want to say that Raina Shea put in the notes that she felt heat in her hand both times.
Good, good.
And this is a great thing to bring to CCC this year, Angie, because it's all about the third eye, the gifts of the third eye.
Yes, absolutely. I had noticed after the first blueprint, some people's third eyes were starting to open, in fact.
So this is Suchira, and I interestingly also feel something in the feet, but instead of heat, It is the joints, the ankle joint, where I'm just more aware of the ankle joint and it's not the joint, but the part where big toe attaches, not attaches the part which is, say, the ball of the foot attached to the big toe. It's just that I'm very aware of it, and particularly more on the left foot than right.
Huh. Cool. Thank you for sharing. You must be very sensitive.
And I worked on the chakras that round. Was anybody aware of having more opening in their chakras or chakras opening?
I felt an immediate, this is Sade, and I felt an immediate heat go to my solar plexus and up into my head, into my third eye. The first time around with the blueprints, the heat went flooding into like my whole pelvic region and like relaxed the muscles and stuff. But this time it felt more like it was like the chakras versus the actual physical body.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sade. Kavan, did you want to mention something? I can't, you kind of had your hand up. Did you want to say?
Yeah, it was a tingling sensation, the energy rising in my spine, which is, yeah, I could clearly feel it. So, yeah.
Great, great.
I can actually feel the just the circle of my head. It feels like I have God love energy circling my whole head right now. It's just like spinning, like gold. I feel gold.
Wonderful.
Over my head.
Wonderful. Your halo is showing.
Yeah.
That's great.
I didn't feel any specific energy, but the second round, I was just doing the breathing that you taught me, and I just went into that and then collecting the energy in the ball in front.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Wonderful.
That last round, I just got really hot, so I took off my little blankie.
The energy is moving when we feel hot.
So,
all right, so this time I'm going to take blueprints for the waist down. I'm just going to be working on hips, legs, joints, feet, things like that.
Okay.
So same thing, 211 and your personal number. And Kathy, let me know if I'm on the camera.
A little bit lower. Here we go.
2110550, 2110550, 2110550, 2110550.
I do want to say some people actually feel the work when I'm working on it, oddly enough. So if any of you are experiencing the work as I'm doing it, how cool is that?
Yeah.
All right, same thing, 211 and your personal number. And Kathy, if I'm on
Nope,
the
you're way off the camera. You're perfect. Keep going that way. A little more. Perfect.
all right.
My ears are buzzing. Oof.
All right, same thing. Just notice what's shifting, moving, changing.
I don't know who, this is Patty. I don't know who just said that about the ears buzzing,
Me.
but that's exactly where I'm feeling it, which is so interesting.
Yeah, it's electric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not, are you guys hearing all the crystals in this room, I wonder?
We're hearing something. It feels good, but it's definitely powerful. Would you say that, Patty, too?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's a buzz.
I've had people talk about that when I do crystal arrays, that they hear the crystals, and I've heard them as well too. I don't. That's not one of my abilities, so I don't usually hear the supersonic stuff very well.
It's powerful.
I felt my my legs and my butt, from my butt on down, was sort of separated from the rest of my body. So I mean, it really is like had a life of its own. It was really.
So going dancing later.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I'll go ahead and do the waist up and kind of balance that back out again.
Yeah, your hand's pretty good.
All right, so same thing, 211 and your personal number. So at this point, I'm not saying what I'm seeing because it's a group thing and I don't want to say something and then 4 people in the group go, oh, I think that's me, and then you manifest the problem. So I'm not reporting right now. All right, and hands up to the camera, 211, and
You're off the camera. Good. Yeah, a little more that way. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. 211. Oh, what was that?
Angie, this is Selena. I just have to tell you that that just took my breath away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went like this. It went all the way in.
beautiful, Selena.
Yeah. I got chills.
Yeah, it went in.
Yeah, while you were doing it, I had from head to toe shiver that ran through for more than just once. It was
Kundalini.
This is Sade, and since we worked together in the past, I have had some issues with frozen shoulder before. And before you even sent the blueprint back while you were working on us, I could feel this like electricity causing like twitching in my arm. I'm also holding a big shungite egg in my hand, and I could feel the energy being transferred through the shungite egg and into my arms. And then once you returned the blueprints back to us, both of my hands were receiving these electrical currents, and it was going into my armpits, and then I could feel like these very fine connections going from my armpits then into my heart, and like creating these little electrical diodes that were firing. It was really cool.
Beautiful, beautiful, Sade. And I saw that happening, and I saw where the freeze was.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually right in here.
Okay.
This was the epicenter of the freeze. So I didn't know it was yours, but I saw that and I worked on it. And I saw how it opened the whole energetic system up, particularly into the heart and into the lungs.
Yep, I could feel it's like my pectoral muscles, everything that was doing this kind of like this like jolting. Like I was on one of those TENS unit things, those electrical stimulators.
Wow, fantastic. I'm glad we got that moving again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh.
Wonderful. Anyone else like to share? No? Okay.
So I think this might be a good time to do individual ones. So Kathy, if you can lead us through that. And,
okay. Okay, well, Sade was one of the first ones, but she may not need it now. Are you?
Oh, I need it.
No,
You want it? Okay.
you might still need it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so she was one of the first people to speak up here.
Okay. So since I don't have to separate, filter through a lot of different blueprints, you don't need to say your numbers. You can just hold your hand up to the camera. And
you got it.
All right.
Okay, my message.
And as soon as I take my hand away, just so you guys know, you can go ahead and lower yours, and then I'll tell you when to raise it, or hold my hand up to the camera, and you'll know.
Thank you, Kari. He left.
Sade, do I have your permission to report what I see?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the first thing I immediately noticed is right at the waist, the energy was pinched and cut off, or not integrated, which might have been me taking blueprints in two parts. It could be that too. So I'm just integrating that right now. So darling, I'm getting a little bit of inflammation, swelling, almost goiter-like on one of your ankles.
Mm-hmm. You know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bones, the joints, the tissues, they all look healthy though, just so you know.
Great. I've been doing work.
It's a pooling of toxins is what we're looking at. I think you know this.
Okay, Maria. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so that was a little bit of some work on one of your wrists, and I'm dyslexic, so by the time I get the pattern and swap it around, I
The
don't know.
left one.
Is it left? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this back to you.
Okay, your hand is off the, there we go, better.
So I think, Kathy, while Sade feels into that, I'll take the next person's blueprint.
Okay.
And then
Next person is, yeah, we've got 6 or 7 people that have asked.
And then, Sade, when you're ready, if you would like to share what you notice, you can do that while I'm working on the next person's blueprint.
And while you're working on everyone else, you can make me taller. But anyway, the next person is Patty. You okay? So Patty, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
Oh, you don't.
So Patty, she's got her hand up, and
Patty, I don't quite understand what I'm seeing. I see like a dark circle below you, and then light radiating up. Are you grounding yourself really strongly right now?
Not consciously.
Do you have a particular connection with Mother Earth or Earth beings?
I connect to Mother Earth, yes. Yeah.
Do you feel like that is a very special, powerful relationship?
Yeah, so when I do healing work, that's usually where I start by connection to Earth. So, okay. Yeah.
All right, that I like literally I'm gonna have to look through that.
Okay.
That's
sorry.
It's very
I'm quite sure how to disconnect, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just like, oh wow, what is she doing? Okay. All right, so to begin with, Patty, I'm seeing the really beautiful energies in your field, a lot of opalescence. So, you know, you're definitely working with a lot higher frequencies. You know, some of the stuff I'm looking at is like 5th and 6th dimensional energies that you're anchoring despite this phenomenal earth energy that you're pulling up. You also have a lot of, you know, much higher frequencies in your field. Okay. Your energy was a little off balance. I don't know, maybe a little bit more feminine energy than masculine. So I'm just kind of bringing that a little bit more into balance.
Okay.
It wasn't much. There's not a whole lot here to see, unless you have some back issues.
Not really.
All right, then it's the balance, the right-left balance in your energy then.
Do you want me to direct you somewhere, or would you rather just see what shows?
I'm seeing a little something. It's in the trunk of the body. I'm trying to figure out if it's like the pancreas or the spleen. It's not showing too strongly though. I'm gonna guess you've already been doing a lot of work on this because I'm having a hard time to really tell what's going on. if this isn't it, go ahead and direct me.
I direct you into my brain.
All right. I haven't really been looking up there, so I'll do that. Oh. If you don't mind, I'm just going to remove that.
Not at all.
And I don't understand it, but this is not yours. Do you know much about what I'm looking at?
Well, I think you're looking at a meningioma growth in my brain.
Yeah, there's something right here at the base. It's it looks like a clamp that almost goes around the spinal.
Oh, wow. No, I'm actually.
And then there's a little thread thing that comes up. That. Yeah, anyway, well, it's not there anymore.
Okay.
All right, you have good synaptic firings in your brain. The neural activity looks really good.
Wow, that's powerful.
You can feel it?
Yeah, my hand hasn't stopped the such a strong connection, and you can really feel that.
Wow, that's so cool.
So I'm picking up something in this quadrant, like about half an inch to an inch inside.
Yeah, my quail. I named it a quail because the neurosurgeon said it was the size of a quail egg.
Okay. So I don't know how active it is right now, to be honest with you. It's a duller energy spot. It doesn't have as much neuroactivity in it. But I'm not looking at a dark mass. I'm not looking at a clump of darkness, right?
Right.
So whatever this is not much of an issue anymore. Whatever that clamp was with that thread going up, that was
the issue. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right, let me just do a good charging and rinsing of energy on this, and I'll do it back. All right, here you are.
Perfect. Perfect.
Wow. Wow. This hand is ice cold.
Wow. So, Ange, we have 7 more minutes. Do you want to try to do one more? Is that okay? Okay. So, Debbie, you were the next person up. Debbie P.
Yes, that's me.
Okay. Okay, so Angie, it's Debbie. Okay, your hand, and put your hand over, yeah. Back up a little. Yeah, better.
So, Debbie, the first thing I noticed is kind of the energy above your head and around your head. It's very vibrant and very strong. So I brought that down into the field and into your body more. It just really seemed to want to be integrated. It was almost like a balloon along the ceiling, right? So I just kind of brought all that back down in.
Awesome. That'll fix the headache.
I think I'm looking at heavy metals and I can't tell what organ. I'm just going to clean it up, okay?
Okay.
all right. It's ready to come back to you.
Does it matter if your hand is over to the side? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Thank you. It's fantastic.
So, Angie, how are you doing?
It's really bright.
Yeah, the light does look really bright on your face from here.
Mm.
So
How's
everyone.
everybody doing?
Well, So I did put Angie's website in the chat for everyone, so that I apologize if you didn't get a healing tonight. There's just too many people. You did get a healing as a group. You might not even know what you get, but there was a lot of energy running. So drink lots of water and try to get a good night's sleep. And please let us know. Angie's services are on crystalarays.com. She's also been on a lot of telesummits, and she'll be on 2 or 3 coming up soon again, with other services that she offers. We've recorded some crystal arrays that are so powerful. I don't know how.
There's a free one on my website too. It's called Tao Arising. It's a partial transmission. It's about 12 minutes. And if you'll sign up for it, it's an immediate download. You can just get it right then and there. And it puts you on my mailing list, so that other opportunities that come up like this, that you can be a part of if you have to.
Right. And
Awesome.
and if you want to work with Angie and get a one-on-one Antonian Stone reading, she's just started doing them, and they're so very, very powerful. And the price is $260 for an hour. So I do recommend, if you felt this energy and you want to go deeper, certainly that is much less than going through traditional medicine to fix your body.
Kathy, I just want to jump in here and say that this is recorded, so it will be posted probably in the next 48 hours on our co-creatorsconvergence.com website. And the way I understand it is that even digitally you can go back and still get an energy transmission. Is that correct, Angie? Does that work with you?
Yeah, we're still kind of testing a lot of that. But what seems to happen is that, when I open this up, I'm holding a field. And this field is some combination between 528 hertz, the frequency of love, and 244.5 megahertz, which is a bridge transition into 6th dimension, which is from this room. And so that is actually coming across right now. Everybody is being saturated in it, which is what I think the ringing in the ears some people is hearing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Patty's going, yes, I think so. And so, yeah, that's now digitally captured, and anybody listening is going to receive that. And
very cool.
And it could be, too, that, as I do this, if somebody watching it later joins in, all time and space is now. So
there you go. I also want to say that next month we're having our 3rd Thursday call. Will be February 20th. And in a couple, next week, Bob and I are going with Unity Earth to the Holy Lands. And we'll be going to Jordan, Palestine, and Israel with a group called Eco Peace. And then we're also going to be talking about the Unity Caravan, which is going to go across the United States in 2020. So a lot of folks I'm going to invite them to this call. You're all welcome back. We're going to have some treasures to share, I'm quite sure, and an invitation to join in the Caravan 2020. Bob, do you want to say anything about that?
Just that, and we'll be talking to the head of Unity Earth. We'll be with them for a whole week while we're there with the peace delegation about possibly being our guest on next month's call. Ben Bowler, head of Unity
from
Earth.
Australia, Timothy. Is he still here?
Yes.
So I'm hoping that I can connect with him this coming week and confirm that he can be with us for the February 3rd Thursday call. Love to have you all come back and bring your friends.
And don't forget that the price for the registration fee goes up February 15th. So I put in the chat there how to get a hold of us, co-creatorsconvergence.com, and you'll find out everything. We'd love to have you join us.
Yes. And you can ask Angie what it's like, or ask me. We're both active on Facebook, but quite a few of the people on this call have experienced it, and it's a homecoming. finding your soul family and co-creating with them.
It's a great time.
Yeah, it's
Thank you,
fantastic.
Kathy. Thank you, Angie, so
Oh,
much.
Angie, thank you.
Everyone who has come, and so happy to see some old faces, new faces. Rita, haven't seen you in a long time. Patty, haven't seen you since Dom and her. Trina, come back to us, and love to meet more of you. So thank you, everyone. Good night.
Night, everyone.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful work.
Yeah, everyone can unmute yourself if you want and just give a hey and a thank you to Angie.
Thank
We
you
love
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thank you
Incredible,
for
Angie.
us.
Much
Thank you, Angie.
appreciated.